You're not gonna believe this shit, but news organizations are still trying to use the Elliot Rodger massacre to support their retarded political agendas. And to make matters worse, they didn't even ask me, Monkey Jones, the internet's #1 Elliot Rodger expert, about my opinion. So, what bullshit agenda are they trying to push this time? Well, the LA Times just published an article today that Elliot Rodger was the first alt-right killer. Now, if you're anything like me, you're probably wondering what the fuck they're talking about. Elliot Rodger's massacre happened on May 23rd, 2014, and the term alt-right didn't become a household phrase until the 2016 election. Right off the bat, this headline doesn't make much sense, and the LA Times were quickly eviscerated with replies calling them on their bullshit. But unfortunately, it seems society's dumbest people have the loudest voices, as the biggest name to counter this claim was a retard named Mike Cernovich, who tweeted, "Elliot Rodger, who went on a mass shooting in 2014, is being called alt-right as an effort to use the deaths of his victims to score political points." Okay, so far I'm on the same page, Mike, but let's see how you fuck this up. Rodger's diary, okay, it wasn't a diary, it was a manifesto, but I'm gonna let this one slide because as we're about to learn, reading comprehension isn't exactly Mike Cernovich's strong suit. Rodger's diary was insane and also apolitical. He was a bitter male feminist. Oh, Mike! You almost did it! You almost said something that didn't make you look like a complete retard! So you say he's apolitical, but then in the same breath claim he was a feminist. So you're already a moron. But more importantly, did you really just fucking say that Elliot Rodger was a feminist? The guy who hated all women and wanted to torture every single one of them? Honestly, Mike, this one tweet alone invalidates anything you've ever said in your life, because obviously you just make stupid shit up. You're doing the same exact thing that you're criticizing the news for doing, but in an infinitely dumber way. I guess your book is called The Gorilla Mindset because a gorilla's brain is 1/3 the size of a human's. Anyway, enough about that retard. Let's go back to the question at hand. Was Elliot Rodger the first alt-right killer? Well, I guess first we have to define alt-right, and that's difficult to do because the definition changes depending on who you talk to. So we'll just go with the Associated Press's description. The alt-right is a group of white supremacists who hold conservative beliefs about government and taxes, and they reject the democratic ideal that everyone should have equality under the law regardless of creed, gender, ethnic origin, or race. So to answer this question, we just have to compare Elliot and his massacre to this definition of what makes a person alt-right. Firstly, an alt-right person needs to be a white supremacist. Now this is tricky, because I don't know if you can tell by this image of his parents, but Elliot Rodger is not white. His mother Chin is Malaysian Chinese. Now to be fair, Elliot did fetishize white blonde girls and desperately wanted to have sex with them, but by that logic, my neighbor Tyrone is a white supremacist too. This isn't to say that Elliot Rodger wasn't racist, as in his manifesto, he has several sections about black and Mexican men being disgusting and beneath him. For example, here's one of the funniest quotes from the whole manifesto. "How could an inferior, ugly black boy be able to get a white girl and not me? I am beautiful and I am half white myself. I am descended from British aristocracy. He is descended from slaves. I deserve it more." But the question isn't, was Elliot racist? The question is, was Elliot the first alt-right killer? So, we need to evaluate whether or not Elliot's massacre was inspired by his racist beliefs. And anybody with even a modicum of reading comprehension, unlike Ben Poston, who works for the LA Times, can see that Elliot's massacre was an act of vengeance against two groups of people: women and the men they were attracted to. Or as Elliot put it, "I will arm myself with deadly weapons and wage a war against all women and the men they are attracted to." and I will slaughter them like the animals they are. If they won't accept me among them, then they are my enemies. They showed me no mercy, and in turn I will show them no mercy. There's nothing political or racist about it. Elliot didn't set out to kill blacks or Mexicans, and he didn't even set out to just kill all women. Elliot wanted revenge on everyone because he felt like society as a whole had betrayed him. He wasn't a white supremacist. He was an Elliot supremacist. He thought he was better than everyone else and was deeply offended and disturbed that women weren't flocking to him because of it. After a decade of watching women engage in relationships with men that weren't him, Elliot felt as though a righteous injustice had occurred, and he wanted to punish women for rejecting him and men for living the life that he felt he was owed. In my view, an alt-right killer would have to be somebody who is killing people based on the ideology of the alt-right. And as anybody with a brain can observe, this simply isn't the case. His motive was very clearly something else. Please, LA Times, and please, Mike Cernovich, find something else to push your retarded political agendas. Because over here on the Mumkey Jones channel, the only agenda is to make you laugh and to help you understand the twisted mind of somebody living in a twisted world. Look forward to my upcoming book, Diary of a Supreme Gentleman. It's coming out May 23rd, and it's gonna make your dick explode, baby! Ow, ow!